Hey guys, Board Game Rundown, Andrew here. I just wanted to make a quick announcement before this interview with the developers of Ivion. They're actually going to be dropping a Kickstarter around the time of the release of this video. I believe it's August 16th. The link is going to be in the description. Check it out. This is their third Kickstarter. The first Kickstarter they released, I think they raised maybe like 20, 25,000. Their second iteration, they went up to 40. And I have a feeling that every new content drop is just gonna raise more and more money. I think this game is a sleeper in 2022. The reviews are hot on Board Game Geek, but I just think more people need to hear about it. So I think already maybe 500 or 600 people are following the project on this third Kickstarter, but make sure you check it out, and I hope you enjoy the interview. Thanks a lot and have a good one.
Okay.
Hello, welcome to the Board Game Rundown. I'm Andrew, and this is Aislyn and Aaron Shaw. And I am not going to introduce the name of this board game that is spiked in hype today because I do not know how to actually say it. I've owned this game for 24 hours, and so many people have tried pronouncing it. So I'm going to let the creator, Aislyn, be the first person to set the record straight and introduce their game.
Okay. To everyone out there who's listening right now, please, it is Ivion. Ivion, the hero crafting card game. Not Ivion, not 4-ion. It is Ivion. That's how you pronounce it.
Ivion.
Yes.
Is there any way that we could remember that? Ivion, there's something that sounds like Ivion?
Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, so Oblivion, just without the
Yes,
OBNL.
that is fantastic. Ivion.
Yes.
Oblivion. Okay, beautiful. Well, Ivion, when I was walking around Gen Con aimlessly on my first day, I saw a the hero crafting card game, and I had to stop. It did not look like, some of these booths are just huge and they're just almost a little convoluted. I saw these two just grinding hard, and I needed to see what was going on. Now, their marketing and their advertising for this is just fantastic. I have some pictures up on the screen of just some of the gameplay and some of the box art. It is just fantastic. Hero crafting card game. I want to learn a little bit more about this game, a little bit about the history. So, Aislyn, what inspired you to make Ivion?
Okay, so when I was growing up, my dad loved MMORPGs like EverQuest or World of Warcraft. He introduced them to me because he was very passionate about them. I ended up liking them too. And you know, in those games, you're playing a hero.
Yeah.
You've got abilities, you're leveling up. It's all about the skills you're using and your character in a world. He also then showed me Magic the Gathering, which is a pretty different game, pretty far removed from that genre. Yeah. But you play with cards. You have cards that synergize with each other. They're playing off of each other. There's so many different things you can do in a game like Magic.
And I noticed you kept instants.
Yes.
When I read instants in your rule book, I
Yes.
felt kind of good because I do like responding to things. I don't like giving people their full turn. I want to respond to them with something that I have.
Sure.
Mainly because I like playing slow decks that can stop people in their tracks.
Everyone knows the Magic the Gathering nope with the island symbol on it.
Yep.
That is very much a thing in Ivion. And it's certainly inspired from Magic the Gathering. But so I grew up playing those kinds of games. But I always wanted to play a card game that you were the hero and your deck represented what your hero was doing. And that's basically where Ivion came from.
Definitely. Thanks. So, Aaron, your package comes in 3 different variations. We've got the red, the blue, the purple, 3 different variations. This is a card game, but it's also a battler. It feels like a TCG, but it's not because you're not selling packs out like crazy. What's your philosophy? How did you decide to package this dueling game the way you did? Because you've had a couple iterations.
Yeah.
Maybe talk about your original iteration and maybe why you chose the 3.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that inspired how Ivion came to be what it is. When we first made this game, it looked nothing like what you're seeing on the screen right now. It was a giant yellow brick of a box.
Huge box. It looked like a gold coin almost.
Absolutely. It was my best effort at Photoshop making something happen. That was something we made when we were both in college.
Sure.
We had never made a board game before, and say what you will about the product from a marketing standpoint, it is filled with passion. It is 800.
Chunky.
It is a lot. It is 800 cards unceremoniously given to you, saying, "Hey, this is an entire game system. Are there any decks pre-built? Nope. You just got 810 cards. Here's how you make decks. Good luck."
Yeah. So that was the first iteration of Ivion with that big golden box. But what was your philosophy on, going with the 3 boxes? And is the blue box a beginner box? Is the red box like the extreme box? Purple more intermediate? Can you tell me about how you split that up in terms of a marketing sense?
Absolutely. And to answer your question there, no, there's no introductory set. Each one is a completely, fully fleshed out standalone game. What it is when we made our first product, there is a reviewer, Tom Vassell. Many have heard of him.
Never heard of him.
He gave some really good critiques about our game. He said, although the gameplay was quite good, from a graphic design and product standpoint, had some room to improve. So what we did moving forward is we completely overhauled the graphic design, and we changed the model to, instead of having everything come in one box, we have divided the game into individual 2-player experiences that, if you buy all of them, will be the same content as that original box, but each one stands on its own as well.
Sure. Yeah. And Aislyn, what sets your game apart from all of the other duelers on the market? What is your hook?
Well, I would say that the hook is probably in the subtitle, which would be that it is a hero crafting card game.
Yeah.
So a lot of people come up to us, especially during this convention last night and tonight, saying, "So what's a hero crafting game?"
Yeah.
And what that is there are different archetypes of characters in Ivion.
So many.
Yes. You've got the knight, the wizard, and then you've got more niche aesthetically archetypes the illusionist or the saint, who's a paladin style character. But anyways, you can just pick these archetypes and you can simply say, "I want to play that one, I want to play that one." Okay. You can hero craft them together. Cards are marked with a little hero crafting icon, and then at that point you can simply grab all those cards from the archetypes you chose, you put them together, you have a fully functional, perfectly fine deck that can do well and is your hero now.
And just to iterate, the cards in a specific class are not all of the cards that you'll use in the deck. So are you giving them cards to choose from as well? Or does this whole deck go into the creation of the full deck that you're hero crafting?
No, so going back to the example, the knight archetype is a group of 20 unique cards.
Okay.
And if you're going to take hero crafting cards from that archetype, you're only going to be taking 5 to 7 of the unique cards from Knight.
That makes sense.
So there's still so much to explore. You build a hero crafted version of the Knight, there's still a ton of unique cards you're not actually going to see unless you dig into the nitty gritty total customization viewpoint of the game.
Which I am so excited for. I think I have found my game. I bought Netrunner on Facebook Marketplace and I ended up getting it here at Gen Con, and then I found Ivion and I'm like, well, I could just sell this at Gen Con, my Netrunner, and just buy the other sets just to have more to share with my friends when I get back home. So as this like 24-hour fanboy, I have to ask, what lies ahead for you two in terms of your professional career as game developers, and what lies ahead for Ivion? Is there more Ivion coming? Is there more? I guess you can both take this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, so, glad you asked that. In 2 weeks, in 2 weeks from Gen Con ending, we are launching our Kickstarter, which is going to be another 3 boxes. This is going to be Ivion Season 2, Winter's Bite. That's going live in 2 weeks. It's going to be 3 more boxes, each one standalone, and will integrate fully with the other content.
Yeah.
And Aislyn, why don't you tell us what we are planning for Ivion moving forward?
Yeah, of course. So, we are going to be, of course, focusing exclusively on our next Kickstarter while that's live.
Great.
After that, we'll just simply be focusing on providing the final manufacturing files to make that happen and making sure that shipping is as smooth as possible. But we have no plans to stop, right? Like, we are gonna keep making boxes, keep making seasons. We'll keep releasing these boxes, making new heroes, exploring new realms within the fantasy world that Ivion exists in. And then continuously improve like the products we're offering and the ways that people can enjoy the game.
Yeah. And with each iteration, like this could be Ivion 2, you could like bold the 2 eyes, and then I don't know what you can do for Ivion 3, but then you've got the 4, and then you've got the 5, and then the 6.
Yeah.
Like on the Ivion name, you got all those Roman numerals there
That's
that you
true.
can use for
And you know what? We could
crafty
even,
marketing.
That's true. And when we get to 40, we could do Roman numeral
Yes.
4, 10? I don't know what I'm even saying.
You know, the more I look at the name, the more I just see the word Mon.
Please.
Come on,
no.
Mon. Mon, the card game, man.
Okay.
Sorry.
There's one person.
We should cut that. We should really cut. Yeah, we should cut that one. Let's just keep rolling. We'll just
Okay.
keep it going.
Yes. Go ahead. You have
Yeah.
something you want to say?
Yeah, so we have 3 boxes out right now.
Yeah.
We are going to be doing a Kickstarter for another 3 boxes. We have, on top of that, 6 boxes worth of content designed and planned out. So we have
This has got to
plans-
be over 1,500 cards.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
total, including the original Ivion and all that.
Well, if you're going to make an expandable card game, you got to expand it. I mean,
Yeah.
these things grow factorially. So, we have no intention of stopping. And then, I have no idea what else we're going to be doing. We want to someday make like a PvE solo mode. There's a lot of potential ways to expand the system.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great. This was fantastic. So, Aislyn, this is your baby. If you could give us a quick little, maybe 1 or 2 minute explanation of how this game is played. We've used a lot of comparisons. We've used MMOs, we talked about Magic, I brought up Instance, but then we've got this game board here. I think it's time to give maybe a little summary, sell it to somebody, because I want more people playing this game.
Sure.
Give us a little rundown.
Okay, well, I'll start with the basic high level. So, Ivion is a spatial miniatures game where you are playing as a hero on a board, but the way that your hero interacts with your opponent and everything that's happening on the board is through a deck of cards. So all the cards in your deck are going to be things that your hero can do, like attacks that will deal damage, counters that will interrupt your opponent, or perhaps even efficient ways to move across the board, like a dash card, or a hazard that you can place on the board itself to disrupt your opponent's ability to maneuver effectively. So it's all about this ebb and flow of combat. Where am I positioning myself? What kind of hazards am I putting on the board? What kind of hazards are my opponents putting on the board? How am I going to deal my damage and play my big haymakers without getting countered and totally blown out?
Sure, because you don't want to overstep.
Right.
You want to have some sort of defense to save yourself for your next round, hopefully.
Exactly. And I think that's where people are getting this sense that it's a duel.
Yeah.
You're maneuvering, you're stepping back, you're stepping
And
forward.
it feels like a duel.
Yeah.
It feels like it's not just my turn, your turn, my turn. With cards, you're actually the hero you wanted to be when you
Right.
first started making this game.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, this is Ivion. I'm Andrew. This is Aislyn
Yep.
and Aaron. And I'm calling it. I'm calling it. This is gonna blow up even more. And they're sold out day 2, and they're bringing back loads of stock day 3. So if this does show up on YouTube while Gen Con is still going, get yourself a copy, because this is going hot. I'm looking forward to Ivion in the future. So,
Absolutely.
Board Game Rundown, we're out.
Pale clouds hang above the wooded slopes of mountains. The valleys where small towns and hamlets nestle away from the coldest elements, and the severe landscapes past the tree line, where only rock and cold linger. In that unforgiving place, the winterborn and huntsmen clash in a blast of razor-sharp ice and blood-flecked steel. One fights because they have to, the other because they want to. But motive means nothing until only one is left standing. Axe against ice. As the foes dance around, each observe their careful movement, their efforts to control their opponent, slowing or disarming them. The silence is palpable, but in an instant their fury unleashes. Attacks followed by counters again and again in a barrage of steel and willpower, until one gains the upper hand, and with a blast of power overwhelms the other. At the end of one fight is just the beginning of another. A hardy survivalist, trekking into the woods with abandon and a wilder spirit protecting them with wrathful intent. It's hard to say who's the hero and who's the villain. They don't stop to ponder such things though. Fists fly faster than words in Ivion. And of course, I can't forget about the battles I've fought, and the crystal blades that left blue-tinged scars. I gave better than I got though. Nothing hits harder than a hammer on an anvil. These are but a few of the stories out there, waiting to be told, and I am a steward of mine only. The best storytellers are yet to come. In Ivion, any who wishes to fight can make a name for themselves and forge a new legend. Craft heroes by combining classes and specializations until players have a unique deck to explore in the next duel. Epic card combinations and combat experiences are just waiting to be discovered. Hundreds of cards put the power in your hands. An anthology of action awaits. If you have the honor and courage to take control, then you'll be fighting with the best of us in no time. Perhaps one day you'll walk up to me and issue a challenge. Me and my hammer welcome the opportunity. See you out on the battlefield, hero. Ivion. Now on Kickstarter.